Hello everybody, a certain reviewer here with a certain analysis. Yeah, so I decided to kind of continue this with the next character, of course, being Acqua of the Back. Because, you know, who else is perfect for a freaking discussion, am I right? I mean, let's be honest here. The reason why all of us want Index 3 anime so badly is because Acqua is in it. And he does some pretty freaking epic stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie here. Okay. Let's discuss what his character's been through so far. Okay. So we first saw him in the novels, or anime, whichever. I'm gonna use the anime example. I'm gonna use the anime example. I don't know why I stuttered. But we first see him just like a meteor just coming in out of nowhere. And we never really see him before that I can remember. And we see him, he already has Vento on his back, and Thomas sees him, and he's like, who the heck are you? And he's like, I'm Acqua of the Back, or whatever. And, you know, he saying, I know you're threatened Academy City, all this stuff, and he gives Thomas sort of the token of, you know, Thomas' prize, if you will, of Vento's tongue key chain thing, which honestly, I wouldn't really want, but, you know, whatever. But, Toma basically threatens him and says, oh, you don't want to cross me, man. I'm a freaking saint. I'm going to mess you up. And he's kind of just basically just freaking flies back in the freaking air like Superman. And what really disturbs me about the anime and the light novel, or the subbed translation, where Acqua basically, in the sub, Acqua, you know, he says, I'm Acqua of the Back or whatever. But in like the English version, he says, I'm Acqua of the Rear. And, honestly, that made me laugh more than, you know, I mean, it's like, I'm Acqua of the, like, the voice actor for Aqua's, like, sounds freaking awesome, English dub actor, I think. He sounds really cool, he just fits his voice, you know? And it's like, hearing an epic, manly voice like that, freaking say, I'm Acqua of the Rear, like, why? Like, I want to know the person that, like, wrote that, and like, okay, instead of Acqua of the Back, let's make him say Acqua of the Rear. Like, to me, I just blurted out laughing the minute I heard that. And I watched I watched the stuff first. But yeah, it's like, it's hilarious. Like, I can't take him seriously. It's just so freaking funny. It's just, I'm like, Acqua of the Rear. Like, whatever. That wasn't my freaking problem with the continuing. We then see him talking on the phone with Terra. You know, he's saying, you know, I got Vento, whatever, and all that. I'm talking about coming back. You know, Fuyama gives his 2 cents or whatever, you know, orders of Fuyama of the right and all this stuff. And that's pretty much where we don't see him ever again in the anime. But, you know, honestly, I really liked that. I really liked, you know, the tone that he was setting with him. He's pretty close to the design in the novel. You know, he has his cool collared up shirt, which honestly, if anyone wore a collared up shirt these days, they kind of laughed at unless you're like it was Halloween or something. But Aqua's the only person I can get away with that, the collared up shirt. And you know, it's Academy City too, so I mean, I guess I don't know what the style is there. Which honestly, a lot of students just wear their student getup. I don't really see particular styles, but I don't know, whatever. I guess the collared up shirt's a thing, and of course he has his jean pants on, his epic hair, which I wish I had. But yeah, we then see him, you know. I'm pretty sure we see him after the battle with Toma and Terra, you know. Terra's recovering by drinking wine, apparently. And, I mean, getting punched in the face really just hankers you with thirst. But, you know, Terra basically says, you know, he uses sacrifices for his spells, you know, children and all that stuff. It's pretty messed up. And, you know, Acqua, being the manly man he is, doesn't really approve of that. So what does he do? He freaking grabs a pillar and smashes Terra into the ground like he's a freaking bug. And, you know, you think impression, you know, it's all about impression. Obviously, this isn't Aqua's first appearance, but this is his 3rd appearance, I'd say. I could be getting that wrong because he does talk to the Pope at some point, but I think that happens way later. But, he smashes freaking Terra like he's a bug. And honestly, he dies. Terra dies. And he's like the first... Is he the first person? Like, I guess technically Accelerator was the first to kill a person. But, I mean, they're clones, so I don't know. I could be, you know, I mean, biased against clones, but they're not really... I don't know. Toma's gonna punch me in the freaking face for saying that. But okay, Terra is the first person to kill minor, sort of major. Okay, Terra's a major character, let's just say that. He's a major character for the fact he knows more about Magic Breaker than anyone. Okay, he kills, like, a major character of knowledgeable-wise. And, he freaking gets a blood stain on the freaking ground. Terra's like, I'm gonna go to heaven, and you're gonna go to hell, or whatever. And Aqua's like, no, you're not. You're gonna go to freaking hell. And he dies. Does he end up in hell? Who knows? Honestly, for killing a bunch of children for your magic, I think he would. But, we then see Acqua in the arc that has his name in it, Acqua with the back. Even though his real name's William Morel. But, he appears in that arc, and he beats the ever-living crap out of the Amaxai Christians. I could be butchering that name, as so many of you have pointed me out on this. He beats the crap out of Itsuwa, beats the crap out of Toma, beats the crap out of everyone. He even beats the crap out of a lot of the Academy City security, and it's pretty epic. He just instantly wipes out all of them. And, Toma and Itsuwa put up a good fight, not gonna lie. They put up a really, really good fight. Especially Itsuwa. I have to give credit where credit is due. She's pretty cool in that fight, even though she gets curb stomped, but, whatever. And Acqua uses his giant freaking mace. Just freaking smacks them around like they're pinatas. And Toma, just gets up, he fights him off, and Acqua respects that. He respects that he's so driven, and all that stuff. And that pretty much ended up with Toma being beaten to a pulp. And, Toma's hanging off Aqua's mace, and he gives Toma another chance. Hey, I'll give you, it would seem awfully rude of me to just, let me cut off your arm here and now without any aesthetics. Which, honestly, to be perfectly honest, he would have done it if Toma turned out to be a freaking evil guy. He would have just cut off his arm there and then and there and be on his merry way. Even though I do kind of think, like, what would happen if that actually went down? Like, if Acqua cut off his arm, it would grow back. Like, there's nothing really essential there, not to mention, like, the invisible thing or the dragons or whatever's gonna pop out. So I would love to see that, honestly. And, Acqua goes on his merry way and just freaking flicks Toma off his freaking mace like he's a booger and falls in the freaking lake, crashing in it. Many times later, he fights the Amaxai Christians again. And, they put up a pretty good fight, not gonna lie, again. But they, again, get their butts beat pretty bad. And then, Kanzaki shows up. We get a pretty cool epic fight with Kanzaki and them against Acqua. And, again, that fight's freaking rad. Okay, I'm just gonna say, Acqua with the back arc is freaking rad. But Acqua, he uses all the crazy stuff. He makes water out of freaking weapons, which, again, his Acqua, it's not just for title, he can use freaking water. He makes water wings, he shoots freaking water waves that cut mountains in half and buildings, and it's freaking epic. It really is. And he has a power called Divine Mother's Mercy, which limits sort of the damage he takes. Well, cancels that, I forget which. But, he puts up a pretty good fight with, Kanzaki earned my respect in that fight. She bumped up a meter in the coolometer. And, Toma arrives, he kind of blocks whatever magic can, well, actually, wait, does he? No. Okay, so they use a power or a spell called Sync Destroyer, which combines a bunch of these pulls into one magic, compressing the magic, throwing at Acqua. Now, Acqua, being the manly man he is, it hits him, but it doesn't hit him directly. It hits him in the freaking hand, and he blocks it with one hand. And he just shoves it away like it's nothing again. And, Toma arrives, he blocks out sort of the Divine Mother's Mercy he was using. I think they end up hitting him again with it, if I believe. Or I think it was Itsuwa using her special attack or whatever. I forget which. I think it was just her using Sync Destroyer. But they hit him down from this building, and he crashes in the freaking water. I think it was like a built water or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I've read that. I'm surprised I remember as much as I do. But he escapes. Not unscathed. He's still pretty damaged, but, he just kind of escapes. We don't see him for a little bit until the, what's it called? The British Royal Family arc, where he, goes and saves Villain from this big conspiracy with the British royal family because they want to take over and all this stuff, And we see that he, he saves Villain. We see that he reveals what his mace truly looks like, because it's just a mace with a bunch of iron wire around it. And he hits a button, reveals Absalon, the coolest freaking sword name for the coolest looking freaking sword ever. Now, how he got this sword is probably kind of cool, because this Christian brigade sort of gets this and kind of gives it to him as sort of like a present to save, from saving them from, I forget what, but it was from something. And Absalon is probably it's the coolest looking design for a freaking sword. I mean, props to the, actually I guess more props for Kamichi for coming up with the design, but you know, on it, or at least what it looks like, the design for it is awesome, in my opinion. But, yeah, so there's different colors. Each color signifies what different part of the Absalon does. You know, one's a chainsaw, or one's just a saw, I think. One's a spear. It transforms all this stuff. It's pretty cool. But he uses it against this fight. It's Knight Leader, who Knight Leader was his close friend, you know, from back in the day, you know. And also, Absalon has this coat of arms. So it has like a dragon, a fairy, and something. Like some kind of lizard on it. I don't know. I forget the name of it. But he fights Knight Leader, and again, a pretty epic battle, because Knight Leader has his sword, which we'll talk about Knight Leader in another video. But, yeah, he beats him, like, it's a really close match, like, last-ditch effort. Acqua throws a spear, and it hits him, and, you know, he wins, you know, it's a pretty close match. And, he helps in the fight against Carolina, which Toma was fighting currently at the time, in which, you know, he kind of saves his country and all that stuff. We get a little bit more background in the Acqua and Knight Leader, how they're kind of close friends, they train together, all this stuff, and how Acqua, like, they offered him a knightship in the Britain, but he's like, no, I'm going to protect my home, and, like, on the outside. Knight Leader, you protect on the inside, all that kind of fun, crazy stuff. And, again, we see him in the World War III arc, which he, tries to stop Fiamma from, creating this, I forget the specific reason. I think it was he stole something, the Index's control. I think he was after that, I think. I could be wrong on that. He could have had something else. But he fights Acqua, in which Acqua loses pretty badly, you know. I mean, Fiamma's a freaking... Well, I don't think he became a Gabriel, like... I think he became Gabriel when Toma was fighting him, so... He lost. He used all of his magic, and I think... I forget if it was Saint Destroyer, or was it... I think Acqua used a spell or some kind to get rid of his powers. Like, he used so much of his magic, he's lost all of his same powers. And he was on the verge of death, which I have to credit Hamazura for this. He did one thing right in this. He shouted, Acqua, get up, Acqua, get up. Honestly, I would have preferred if Toma did it, but, you know, Acqua gets up. You know, I think that's when he loses his powers and, you know, he gets beaten. And we don't really see him again until later, where... when we see him way later in the whole Toma versus the World arc, you know, he's with Knight Leader, Carolina, and Kanzaki, where we don't really see him with his sword. We don't see him, he doesn't really do much of anything. He just kind of stands there saying what Toma's gonna do next, which honestly, you know, I mean, he's still cool doing that. I mean, Acqua, he's one of my favorite characters. I mean, he's super epic, you know. I mean, not one person here. He's the Mater Uchiha of the freaking Index universe, or Superman, whatever you want to say. Now, Acqua is a very noble man. He doesn't really, you know, give up his conviction, you know. I mean, you either, you know, he doesn't kill if he really doesn't want, he doesn't have to, and on orders he will. And, you know, he's not evil. You know, he didn't really give that aura when he first appeared. Like, he isn't evil. Like, he's just a really noble, a very stern guy to his conviction, you know. He sticks with it. And, by no means does he doesn't, like, him and Toma are on even terms, I'd say, you know. Again, even if you're a friend of his, he isn't gonna stop, you know, like, completing his mission. He'll freaking beat the crap out of you, and, you know, he'll have a beer with you later on down the road after the thought, you know. Like, he doesn't, he's kind of crazy thinking like that, but I don't know, like, oh, I'm sorry I beat you up, let's go have a beer, you know. I mean, it's kind of weird, but I love the guy for it, you know. He's just so, like, he's not like a character that's used for comedic effect or anything, you know. He's just a cool, awesome awesome man character, and he's probably one of the main reasons why I want Index 3 so badly. You know, I just want to see him do epic stuff. You know, I want to see all his awesome fights animated, you know. It's just, Acqua is just, he's up there with Guha for me. He really is. Like, if him and Guha ended up fighting, like, my eyeballs would combust and my brain would melt. Like, that's how epic that would be. Like, come on. I mean, the two manliest men in the Index series. Of course, next to the President of the United States on this. in the Index universe. He's pretty manly, you know, shotguns and all that stuff. But yeah, if these two fought, that'd be freaking epic. But it's probably not gonna happen. But now, Acqua could possibly still have a role to play. I mean, honestly, I feel like the Toma versus the World Arc, honestly, just gave a Kimichi an excuse. Hey, let's pop up these characters that people probably forgot. But yeah, but I do feel like Acqua. I feel like Kimichi did all he wanted to with Acqua, because we got a big freaking thing with Acqua. We got, like, out of many of the characters in this series that don't have backstory, Acqua got his. Like, we know pretty much his past, what he's been through, all this stuff, and we still don't get an Accelerator backstory, but what the heck. But, yeah, we get to know pretty much everything about Acqua, you know. I mean, good on you, Kimichi. I give you really hit the nail on the coffin with Acqua, man. Now, will Acqua have any part to play in the future? I think so, honestly. Because A, he's like one of the most popular freaking characters in the series, and B, I really do feel like he'll maybe get his powers back eventually, who knows, and maybe he'll do something. Like, I really feel like he needs to do one last epic thing. Maybe he at least show up. He'll at least show up eventually. But, yeah, Acqua is really one of my favorite characters. He's probably one of the main reasons why I want Index 3 so badly, is because I want to see him just be awesome and epic. You know, he's just, oof, he's cool, man. I mean, like, that's another funny thing, too. Like, he's gotten the most illustrations, like, the flat-out just action shots in illustration. He even got, like, a colored illustration. Heck, he was even on the cover of one of the novels, I think volume 16, I think, of the Old Testament. But, yeah, I mean, Acqua, man, he's freaking epic. Now, those of you, put your opinions down below. What do you think about Acqua? What do you think? You know, do you think he's epic? Do you think, who am I to say? Of course you think he's epic. I don't think there's not one person that dislikes Acqua in any way. But, if they do, they probably get crucified. But, who am I to say? But, yeah. Leave your comment down below. What do you think of Acqua? What do you think about his character? Do you think there's more to come from him? Do you think that he's gonna, show up more? Do you think he's done? It's over with? You think he's gonna die? I mean, honestly, it's possible. But if Acqua dies, like, the Earth will cry for his death. Or at least the Index world's Earth will cry for his death. But, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you guys think about Acqua. And I will catch you guys, or William Orrell. I keep calling him Acqua, but let's face it, Aqua's a way cooler name. But let's talk to you guys later.